she shivered again. Cold? No, not cold. Just someone walking over my grave. Hello, BookTube. Today we have The Wrong Man by Nella Larsen. I'm reading it in this awesome Everyman's Library edition, which if you'd like a copy, you can use my affiliate link to bookshop.org down below. If you use it to purchase this book or any other book, you can also book an extra cost to yourself. I get a small commission. It's a great way to help support the channel. However, you do not have to purchase this edition to read this banger of a story. It's in the public domain, and there will be a link down below if you would like to read it for free. It's a good deal. You can also support the channel by liking, sharing, subscribing, all that noise, and there's timestamps below if you would like to skip around in the video. I do go over some spoiler stuff, so if you haven't read this, I suggest you go read it. It's a very quick read. Go click that link down below, read the 4 or 5 pages or whatever it is, and then come back. There you go. Problem solved. Before we get into the story, let's talk about the brilliant mind behind it, Nella Larsen. Born 1891 in Chicago to a Danish mother and a West Indian father. Larsen's mixed heritage shaped much of her literary voice. The dog is over here groaning as he lays down on the heat vent. So, there we go. She lived through a time when question of race, class, and identity were front and center, and she didn't shy away from them in her writing. Larsen was more than just a novelist. She was also a nurse and librarian. Her 2 novels, Quicksand and Passing, earned her acclaim during the Harlem Renaissance, but she later faded from the public eye. What's fascinating is that she became the first black woman to receive the Guggenheim Fellowship in 1930. That's pretty amazing, right? A huge achievement, especially for someone whose literary output was relatively small. She didn't have much luck in the publishing side of things, which is very, very sad because she's an absolute beast. Like, she is the best of the best. Her work has seen a major revival in recent decades, especially as scholars and readers revisit her stories through the lens of race, gender, and identity. About the story itself, The Wrong Man was first published in April 1926 in the Young's magazine, and Nella Larsen used the pseudonym Alan Semi, likely a strategic move given the racial and gender barriers of the time. The story takes place at a dinner party hosted by Myra, where Julia Romley, a woman who's worked hard to leave her past behind, is suddenly unsettled by the arrival of a man she believes might recognize her. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't confront her, but his presence alone is enough to send Julia into a spiraling into fear and self-doubt. What the story is so compelling is how Larsen builds upon psychological tension without any overt conflict. It's all about perception, memory, and the stories we tell ourselves to survive. And the ending, it's subtle, ironic, and quietly devastating. Spoilers, so if you didn't take my advice at the very beginning, go read it, come back. I'm going to kind of talk over some spoilers now, so and if you don't want to go read it, I guess you just get to find out what the story's about. So there. Julia was at a party where she felt like she did not belong. The women were brightly and elegantly dressed while the men were in formal black and whites. Julia was in a dull dress that helped her blend in, remain hidden. Myra, the self-made woman who hosted the party, was the opposite of Julia, who got where she was through the men in her life. She took Ralph's money to work her way through school and then married Jim, who gave her the social standings that she enjoyed today, or that day. She battled imposter syndrome and her fragile self-worth throughout the story. We came to find out what she feared was that Ralph would tell Jim that Julia was his mistress. He gave her the money she needed to get ahead in life while married to another woman. This was something that Jim would never forgive Julia for and ruin her picturesque marriage and social standing. To ask Ralph for his silence, she gave a note to one of the staff asking that he meet her in the summer house so she could plead her case to him. This was where the story takes a fortunate or possibly unfortunate turn when she pleads with the man not to tell Jim about their affair, only to find out that it was the wrong man. So as you can probably tell right now, I'm kind of reading from a script. I did. This is my second time recording this video, and actually the next three Nella Larsens, because I just thought that she didn't deserve my normal slop content or videos when it came to her stuff. There's just a lot more deep than Michael Crichton. So I wanted to make sure that I wrote down what I wanted to say. So that's why I am misreading right now. And since my memory is poor, there was no way I was going to memorize this or anything else. So forgive me. But I wanted to make sure that I gave Nella her due because she's awesome. What's really struck me about The Wrong Man is how Larsen captures the emotional cost of reinvention. Julia isn't just afraid of being recognized, she's afraid of losing the life she's built, the version of herself she's worked so hard to maintain. And that fear leads her to confess something deeply personal to someone who wasn't even looking. We all have our past doings that we wish we could take back, things we want to leave in the past and move on from. Most of us do. We've all been young once, right? We've done stupid things. It's a powerful reminder of how much we project onto others. Rob Taylor never confronts Julia. He doesn't say a word about her past, but her internal panic turns him into a threat. Larsen shows us that sometimes the real danger isn't exposure, it's the fear of exposure. I know I can get into my head and live there, whether it's in a healthy place or not. And I tell you, I've been in that head. It's been a scary place to be for a couple months now. It's just, it's rough. It's rough. You do what you gotta do, right? The story also speaks to the pressure of social performance. Julie is at a dinner party surrounded by people who see her as polished, successful, and composed, but inside she's unraveling. That disconnect between public image and private anxiety feels incredibly relevant even today. It feels incredibly relevant right now because there's a lot of people out there that can put on a gosh darn good mask, and you would never know that inside that they're struggling. So you always treat people like it's their worst. It's their worst day ever, because you know what? It could be their worst day ever, and you don't know what stupid little comment you might say that just said it in jest, or didn't even realize you said it. He just kicked on. I apologize. It's going to get loud for a minute, but we're almost done here. But you never know what little thing you might say that just might send somebody spiraling, and you just don't want to do that. Those of us who suffer from social anxiety know all too well how it is to mask what is really going on inside during social gatherings. So there you go. There's my little 2 cents on Nella Larsen's banger of a story, The Wrong Man. It's absolutely incredible. The story it's so brief. It's a short story. It's only a few pages, like I mentioned, and her skills is right up there with the best that I've read, like Borges or what's it, Flannery O'Connor, Eudora Welty, just right up there with them. Just awesome stuff, and I can't wait to get onto some of her novellas here. Coming up, so. I think that's it for this one, peeps. Let me know how well you thought this video was a little better than the normal slop I do. I mean, Michael Crichton slop all the time. Like, I'm not going to put a lot of effort and thought into a Michael Crichton video or whatever. Like, some of these videos where it's just brain candy. But I felt like Nella Larsen, although the story was incredibly enjoyable and she's a master of her craft, not really brain candy. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on in these little short stories. So I figured it deserved a little more effort. So, cheers, peeps.